Hello, Divine Sunshiners. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Hello, this is Divine Sunshine with another, with a trigger warning. Being Christ-like doesn't mean to be a welcome mat. I think as us in twin flames and divine lovers that we're so busy concentrating on being the ultimate lover that we find ourselves being a welcome mat to the, I call it the secular and the so-called divine. Secular, like in secular music, they always talk about this regular. Everybody can partake in it, but the divine is more of a different, like when they say gospel music, it's the gospel truth, and then you got the secular ones as well. So when we're talking about that, it is a difference as far as how you are acting Christ-like. Now, a lot of times when we're saying we're doing this out of love, unconditional, those things like that. But at the same time, I wonder, when do we get to the point that we're doing this, that we are at the point allowing people to do things and act in a certain way, and it seems like, we smile, and I'm hearing the song being played, backstabbers is going on in the background. Now, one way that I look at it and I think about it, I use this as something going on, but then I'll flip it around and say, use it in another, like a parable or an example. Okay, so we got two DJs going. Okay, one DJ, both of them starting off at the same time. Okay, so because I'm my DJ friend, Derek Smoker Jones always is telling about stories about DJs. Is always talking about DJs and how they're kind of backstabbing each other in the house music industry. He's like a person, he's Aquarius, and he's bleeding heart, and so he's really always he gets him to the core in ways that others about like, man, it ain't all that serious, but it gets him seriously when we're talking about that. So what is going on with him is that the issue is that there's like DJs going on, and so in this DJ music thing, you got two. I use the example that some things that he has said. So you got one DJ, both of them start off at the same time. One DJ kind of blows up, and as the other DJ blows up, they call themselves kind of coming back and kind of helping out the other, because they kind of started at the same time. And so as they started off at the same time, the DJ say, well, I'm going to have you on my sets. Come on out here and do a couple of sets over here on my gig. And then I do a couple of things on yours. And, at first it started off as just like, kind of like a hobby, that then becomes kind of very serious for one of the DJs. So, a lot of times when the DJs was doing it, he was saying that he was finding himself, he was showing different kind of techniques of how you would do on the DJing skills and things of that nature. And as he was showing him a certain kind of type of way that you all do, the way they do on DJs and stuff, it ended up that let's say he samples, he uses a special type of scratch. It's like a signature for him. And so then when he used that type of signature that was here, so his friend liked the way how he was using it too, and so then he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna use it on mine. So as he does that, the one is not so popular, the other one is popular, start using it and using it and using it. And so then after a while he started acting like, hey, I'm the originator of this scratch, of this special sound and technique that he has on the music. And so when he brings it back to him, and the friend's like, what, he's telling, Derek about it and saying, I'm not kind of really liking how this person is doing. We both started the same thing. That's really my signature. That's how I kind of make my money off of that thing. And so there's like, well, go ahead and go talk to him and tell him, you don't like, that he's doing that. Can he kind of find some kind of way to use something else? So lo and behold, like I always say, why the hell he go and do that? Because the friend tried to turn around and say, well, I'm the one who gave you the break. You wouldn't be no you if you didn't come over here on my sets. And because of that, I don't know how you're doing that. And I was helping you out in the kindness of my heart. And now you come and tell me that, I'm taking your stuff off of the DJ things, and whole much stuff going back and forth about that. So then, of course, that had, messed that up. And so, again, he was trying to make him kind of like, make it seem like he was at fault, because he was saying that he knows that, and everybody around in the circles know that was really DJ, I call it Twizzlers. So I don't know what the DJ's name. He didn't really talk about it because he left for anonymity. Okay. Knowing that, hey, that's his sound. That's his sound. Everybody know that. He do that. So let's say, for instance, so you can understand, maybe he uses some 90s or something. I don't know. Well, anyway, he doesn't start his way of scratching. Let's leave it at that. And so then when he turned around and he told him that, he was like, he got mad. So then, of course, that when it was brought to the other person's attention, he kept on telling everybody that the other person was wrong, and everybody kept on telling him, that, listen here, no, you in the wrong, because that was DJ Scratch's sound. And so I don't know how you would be able to think that you using that. Although in music, a lot of times you could copyright it, but you can't copyright like a sound or whatever like that. But out of respect, you would figure that because you were a DJ, that you can respect that person's sound if that that's like a clear thing that is pretty much associated with that person. So, time go on and whatever like that. And so then a lot of times, the person, they was trying to kind of move on from the situation, but the person came back and, was acting as if, every time he would complain about the whole situation, it would make him look like he was the bad guy. Now, this is the one that had been kind of stole from, and the friends around them was talking about the other person behind their back, but they would never confront and say, yeah, man, I'm 100% with you in what you're saying. But in front of their face, they're all on his side, the other DJ's side that's more popular. And the other one that was less popular, they had their own followings too, but at the same time, they weren't giving him no kind of, backup, because again, everybody around him was making it seem like, hey, it's your fault, and so then he was getting kind of like, man, so like I say, he's like, what, just kind of forget it. I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing. But at the same time, when this person needed him, he would always find himself, the other DJ that took the sound quality from the less popular one would come on his set or whatever like that and see that he would use him. So he would say, okay, well, what, leave my stuff on, like on some album, something like that. He was like, or some cover like that. He's like, leave your stuff on your album, letting them know, give me credits that I did help to produce that. And so then he was like, okay, out of good faith, we did some good things. I'm going to leave it on there. Lo and behold, he found out one day that something that he had helped, he had wanted him on the program, listed all the DJs from city of Chicago. He didn't put him on the program. He left him off, but he asked him to keep his stuff on there, on his thing, on his program. But then when it came to him, he didn't leave it on there. So he's coming on there, all of a sudden, he comes show up on one of his set. He, acting like he down with what he playing on the DJ booth and stuff like that. And so it just so happened he having the event that same week. And so as he having this event that same week, it seems like to him like he is coming there to like self-promote himself, because he ain't heard from him at all. But all of a sudden he pops up on his set that he's playing. He's doing that. And so now he's feeling like he's, used. And as part of him is saying to himself, you know what? Let him stay because I need him. His presence being at this set is helping me to blow up my followers, and it's helping people to see about, ooh, look at who I am in association with, you know, that we hang together. So because he's more popular than I am. So he finds himself feeling like at that moment he needs to sell, but then at the same time he's thinking like, that's not right, because again, he won't promote my stuff on his thing, on his sets as DJ, but he's expecting me to promote on my end. Now, what's the moral of the story here? This person is really at this time thinking that, again, that he is doing this being of good faith. And like I said, and sometimes it seems like the nice person ends up last, okay, in doing things. The lesson here again is, again, not being a doormat, being Christlike. This person felt Christlike, but at the same time, he was not standing up for what he had believed. We got to get, again, in your DMness, and I felt it when I heard the story, that the DM was really feeling about that, going back to his old self and saying, what about the people? What about other people looking at me? What about that's going to really help me? But at the same time, this person, every time he had reached out to that person had slapped the hand down. They had used his music, had used the scratcher technique or whatever it is for his over on his sets that he had. But then when he called it on there, he gave him smoke and mirrors. He gaslighted and made him think he was crazy and saying, if it wasn't for me, it wouldn't be no you on the DJ set here in house music. Now, that's something that you can do over universally, period. But when I thought about it, I said, you know what? There's some other divine masculine energies, that's that dual, that alphaness that's going out there, is selling themselves out for something that they know within themselves is wrong. And they're basing it upon the friends and the people that's around them. And they're basing it upon about the reaction of the person who was the wrongdoer, about how they felt that it was right. And how they're really changing and shifting as far as the focus from them admitting, yes, I did do it. Everybody around him stated they know that that was his sound, that special scratching technique on the ones and twos was his signature sound, and he took it. But nobody around them is man enough, you would think that they would be, to come and say, hey man, so-and-so is right. But a couple of few people. So the DM plight, pretty much divine masculine, is feeling this across the board in every kind of like situation that it is. There is a question about in their energies about them thinking about, I need this person. That's probably why they're in those third party energies. They're probably with those what you call karmic situations or those hard lessons, because again, they're still not being able to clearly hear their voice. In the midst of this, within them, they understand that, hey, this does not feel right. This does not feel right to the core of my being. But they're still looking out to everybody else to say, hey, to validate what's a feeling that's going on with them. You is a divine masculine energies, whether you're female or male. Some of you all have been in some kind of situation like that, that everybody around you is trying to make you feel you crazy. Maybe you're in the relationship of a marriage that you say this ain't working, and they trying to sell you that you need to stay in here. No, it ain't that bad, but they know that the person that you're with is bad, but they're still not trying to help you to validate that this situation needs to stop. Or again, like I said, you doing things and you being used in situations. And again, this person keeps on gaslighting you to make you think, well, maybe I'm kind of wrong. Maybe, wait, hold up, wait a damn second. Maybe they are right. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm over exaggerating about the stuff. But again, you have to feel again within yourself if it's not right. That is a person who is, I was watching the latest channel. She's talking about the fear of avoidance people and how they program themselves to not, they've been so self-critical of themselves that they're not able to hear when somebody's being critically and wrong with them outside of themselves. They give them a pass, but when it's with themselves, they criticize themselves hardly. And this is what I'm talking about. Let's remember to be Christ-like, but not be a doormat. And some of us, because of the childhood wounding, or the about people on the outside of ourselves that are helping to co-sign this madness that's going on within, when within yourself all signs are showing you that that person was not right. You seen it. They didn't ever add you on. Excuse me, somebody got to release something. They didn't add him on to his own program they had, but he came over there to use his set as a way for him to get himself known and let everybody know that that was just prospering and getting ready for his event that he was doing. He was using them again, but he tried to use a gaslighting. It's like, oh, I'm here to help you out. I'm here to promote you out. I'm here to be here and support you. And he clapping it up with everybody in the midst, and they dancing, and he dancing, and like, go, that's my boy, that's my boy. But at the same time, everything that you look and you see, factual and concrete evidence points at that person was not supporting them. Now, talk is cheap. You can say all that you want to, but then when it comes down to it and they check it off on the list to see how have you been beneficial, how have you backed that person, it was not there. Can't say that you taking a person's scratch and saying, okay, well, I took it and now it's my sound. And matter of fact, I'm rocking it better. I got more followers than you. And then at the same time, now this person really unintentionally, this DJ, I believe that he feels in some ways that he didn't do it intentionally. He kind of fell into it. And then after a while, he's like, ooh, I see this sound is benefiting me. And so now he is like, okay, well, now it's my sound, you know, at the point that he done got to, that he's forgotten who the sound really originally belonged to. And he had did that, and he took it as his own. But at the same time, when his friend had called him on it, and he came back to an ego answer to be, well, if it wasn't for me, it wouldn't be no you in DJing. That right there is when the rubber hit the road. And that's when you knew exactly as to who he was standing for. He was for Team Self, and that was an ego answer. Because if you are truly understanding and seeing about that apology or whatever it is when a person brings that to you, as the DJ that I'm seeing it, and from some experience of my own, when you see that, you would understand that the thing is, okay, the sound, you break it down about whatever is going on about the sound, but truly is saying about your part in it, not letting the person think that they crazy while you gaslighting them, and knowing again that you did take it. Everybody around you said that you didn't take it there, but some kind of way that everybody else is crazy, but you in the right. But everybody not telling you that because they're scared to tell you that in your face. Okay? So that lets you know, again, there goes another battle. But again, when we're talking about not being a doormat to things, we've got to believe and understand that we have to trust in the feelings. Those feelings that you get, those gut feelings, those symbols and signs that you get outside of yourself, you got to trust that. And the DM energy, you cannot also be to the point that you are ready to sell your soul for somebody else because of you looking at the popularity and how it's going to benefit you on the outside by being with this person is still abusive. That means in those marriages when you with that, you say, well, I'm here, she's a trophy wife, I'm going to stay in here because, hey, I am benefiting from it. You know, it's not that bad. Confirmation. You know, it is some great things, but at the same time, you know, you being used. They ain't contributing nothing, but they're using up and they're draining up your bank account. They ain't doing nothing but talk about you behind your back, but then at the same time, they real quick to get on Instagram or Facebook, talk about we booed up. But behind closed door, they didn't call you an MF, everything up to the sun, don't shine, anything but the sun, as my mom said, anything but the Son of God. But then at the same time, they're going to use you to go on there, to go on Facebook and Instagram to make it look good so everybody can envy them. Some within that, you've got to come to the point that you say, no more. I will not. I understand about being Christ-like or being divine. I feel that I'm special, but I will not be a doormat. So this is what Spirit is bringing to me, because somebody is out there being the doormat, and they kind of do this smoke and mirrors and this gaslighting you, as if it seems like, when I heard that story from the DJ, and I was like, yeah, this seems like the plight, and I could hear the DJ in it saying, but I need them. I could hear the inside in turn, but I need them. You don't need anybody. Either they're gonna like you, if they just like they say, the house of dreams, the field of dreams. If they love you, they're gonna stay. And those ones that you have gotten and gained, maybe they don't need to be with you, because they're not really true and down for the cause of going on there. And if that person feels like they got to come over there to your set, or that person feel like they need you in the marriage to help them to come up in the world and society, for people to make them and look like they're about something in their life by them being married to you or associated with you and being with you, then that says a lot. They don't need to be pulling on your energies to say that, because if they ain't pulling and bringing nothing else to the table that's helping you out, and all they doing is take it, it's time for you to say sayonara, deuces, and adios, amigos, to the whole situation. You got to watch it. It's some energies that's going out there, and I've seen that from some people that I have talked to that's even a spiritual thing, where the people is like, well, I helped you out, you helped me out, but they're using. It's not an even distribution, another confirmation of how we use it. You can't be saying take, but you ain't giving nothing back. That's why I said we can't be talking about, well, I'm doing this spirit, and at least I'm getting my word out there, and I'm getting my stuff out there, and that, but then you ain't getting nothing in return. It's got to be a spiritual exchange there. And when you call somebody out on it and you tell them about themselves on that, just like I've heard from a conversation here recently with, like I say, the DJ and speaking to somebody else, and they called them out on it, and then all of a sudden they yanking everything off the table. That's all right. We ain't going to do it. The office off the table. Oh, no, I'm the one that helped made you. So, like a person said, tell me how you really feel. Interesting. That's truly where you were coming from. And that's what inside, all along, you as the DM energies and your alphaness has been sensing all along. But you couldn't put the finger on it, because everything on the outside, the illusion was making it seem like they team you. But they're not. They're saying, I'm helping you out with this place that you're here. You should be happy that you got these type of situations that's going on here. I helped you out. I got you this job. You should be happy that you got this job. Because if it wasn't for me putting in the word with the boss, you wouldn't have this job. But at the same time, you're using me. Putting projects on me that that was assigned to you, but you throwing it on me because I need the job. Again, like I said, let's not be a doormat. Stick up for yourself. Know the truth. Feel it. Just use your discernment, ask for spirit to feel it, and walk on out there in your divine masculine energies. Again, don't be a doormat to anybody, even acting as if they are on your team. They're supporting you, that's for you. And when it looks like you look down on paper, you see, no way, Jose, they don't look like they're for you, supporting you, and team you. Some of this stuff here is also blocking union, because you're not being truthful. And you need people in your energy field. And I told you about that, talking about how you 23, how you talking to yourself. That means also physically, you need people who are really actually for you. Not somebody that's playing like I'm for you. And then the next minute is like, okay, now I'm seeing how I can use the energy from you to use it over here for what I'm doing. We don't have room for that. Too much of us trying to get ourselves into union doing that. It's no energy on reserve for extra hanging ons like that. That's why I tell you about the energies, making sure that you keep it in party of two or a party of one. Energy of vampires is not that's not going to help. Again, even when you're ascending and trying to go up again as a rocket, pieces has got to fall off. because it's got to be only the ones that really understand that they're targeting and they're going in the direction which is up. If anything else that said the losing power, I'm just hanging on just to hang on, to kind of go on again, as higher up you go, they're going to lose altitude anyway. So again, like I said, let's not again be letting people use us as a doormat because we're Christ-like. Okay, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste. Namago. Love you.